Appreciate. Okay.
All right. Happy Monday. Thanks for waiting around. We're here. We've got a few people in the room already. Thank you very much for waiting. My fault. A little bit of traffic on the roads, but here we are. Day after Father's Day. I was going to say Thanksgiving. I was giving thanks yesterday. I had a great day. That's why that was on my mind. But how was your day, Jack? Good?
Good. I had most of the weather was good and the beach was wonderful. I had a good day. Work. Sunday's a work day for me. But yeah. But
I got to swim 20 laps with my daughter.
Nice. What? That's great.
Yeah.
Come on. What a little fish.
One of the highlights. Yeah. No, good stuff. So what do we have in store for today? Any big announcements? How was the Father's Day sale? Did that go well?
It's good. We have some new students, and we're happy to have you. If you're listening or whatever, get in the classroom, right? Get in the private forum. We have one. It comes with all your courses. I just jump in and it's an extra login. I'm the only moderator. I'm telling you, if you want to make your go easy, jump in there, get that information, and see what's up in there. Just, yeah, we did get some new folks. And to the people who are listening that are going to be new folks, today or tomorrow or whatever. Even if you miss a sale, it's like our stuff is so ridiculously well valued. Your life is going to change the day you started to such a radical degree. Your life is going to be night and day, whoever does this. And as the days tick by and the months go by, the savings mount. I should have, like Walmart has on their app, it's like, you save this much over time. It's like, I should have that for people, man, be up to millions of dollars. Like I'd be well into millions for many clients.
Under McDonald's sign, it says billions and billions served. So you have millions and millions saved.
Oh my God, like that, Everybody comes, oh my God, the IRA, this used to be, I didn't advertise or anything. I was running this thing by myself practically. And people would just come here on fire with the greatest problems, like, yeah, does this actually work? The IRS is suing me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I sorted all that out, and now I was like, man, this stuff is great. And then it was, because it's always worked flawlessly from day one, there's never been any hiccups for anyone along the path, not myself, not any students of this. Can you imagine, to find out some financial technology that's hidden, that's fully in use every single day by the wealthy elite, and they just don't tell us. I mean, that lets you in on, what's up with the system. Like that they never crack, they never break, they never tell us anything. Is we lack information, we lack knowledge. I like that quote. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. The people that come into this school, they know the financial truth. They know how to hack the money system and get over on it. You open a trust. Now your person, your straw man has nothing. And you don't pay taxes. It's the end of paying taxes or reporting taxes. It's the end of it, Oh, so people
Billy Miller in from Palm Bay, Florida. Very nice. And we got
Canadians
in the house.
Yeah, they would just say Kimberly Miller, Reese's superstar. Anybody who's a student, long time, short time, don't matter. I would go in the classroom and look at her recent postings in a private forum. It was like, man, this lady's go-getter, gets her work done, gets it done quickly, and is successful and shares her success. Every box ticked, you know what I'm saying? Very helpful community member, sees it as true and just goes and does the work and changes her life immediately. I just want to say, really, it's great when any student comes along. Everyone changes their life, and some are more outgoing and some are more, let me just work on this on my own. But to the outgoing people like Kimberly, Billy, thanks for sharing. Thanks for doing your work. Thanks for being so fast and, communicative, and hey, everybody, look what I'm doing. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
And Kayla, hello from Canada. Very good. Welcome, welcome. And Charles, front and center. Bow wow.
Jay, talk about support.
Very good. Yeah, and a little bit of testimonial again. Tens of thousands I saved last year, and thousands this year so far. But we'll have some more real estate commissions come in, and when they do, I'll be sure to share.
Fantastic.
Those are always big lump sums, which are
man,
my goal.
It's great, right? You're like, oops, I got this big extra. Whoops, I love it.
Yeah.
Instagram, hey, the real boss, say, hey, how you doing? Thanks. Good to hear from you. Thanks for the support. Okay, that's great, man. That's great to hear that. Everybody, thanks for not stealing my money, Uncle Sam. Yay. And then after they quit stealing your money from the taxes, you're like, what free stuff do you have? You go for it. You start getting all this stuff. That's the second part of the hack, not just not paying taxes, not reporting taxes. But the second part is like, okay, whoa, where's the free store? Oh, let me check what do you got here, all the free stuff. So no, it's a double boon, money's not going out to the IRS and then, I got all this money back and time. Maybe I'll spend it on getting some free stuff. Spend a little bit of time, get some free stuff from the government. It's great. It's when I started this work, things have become even harder since the big crash. How could they have gotten harder since? It was like that was as bad as they could get, is what we thought. But we've learned from the system they can always get worse.
Yeah.
Thanks. And you never know when they're going to get better. And they, obviously we're going to have to see a helicopter money event. Things are starting to nosedive just in certain areas, It's like World War II. They're just bombing certain cities now. We're fine over here, But obviously, the Federal Reserve is like, hey, our stated mission, besides keeping you as slaves, is to, up the percentage to such a high amount that we really want to see a lot more homeless people per city. And we don't mind telling you that. Just that's the way we are over here. And okay, thanks. So in this free country where nothing is free and we're the citizens, but we don't have any free housing and nothing's actually ours, there's a company called We Trust that all taxes go to them. That's what Ronald Reagan said in 1984. He said, hey, guess what? All the taxes you spend, right? This is paraphrasing, but honestly, he said it. He said, all the services you expect, right, from the government, we don't use the taxes to pay for that. We just, we make money. We just inflate the money supply. We make money. And that money you pay in taxes, we pay to the owners.
Right.
Of the We Trust, the Federal Reserve, of the money system, who are making us all slaves and who are owning everything in this Ponzi scheme. I think it's really interesting. Everyone sits around and watches some YouTube when they get a minute, right? And they pull up stuff that's like, hey, this may be of interest to you, And I watched some, news thing. I watched a realtor guy, actually. He's from Miami. He's pretty good. He's financial stuff and so on. Very interesting guy. I can't remember his name right now. But he's not exactly pro what's going on. He's a realist, but he's, a very good and well-known realtor. So he's very careful with his words. But he's also saying what needs to be said, which is, man, that's hard to do, as you know. But one of the things he said, in order to make a point, instead of him saying, hey, he makes a point by saying someone did something. And the example of that I want to use is, there's some politician that put in, down at Congress, like the United States, not a state Congress or whatever, but the United States, somebody wrote in an act, like a bill to end the Fed, and it made it into writing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, we need a bit actor out there pretending like we're going to end the Fed. You know, send in this guy. You know, at least they've realized there's, you know, the entire population wants to know who owns the Fed, and let's hang them and then burn them, you know, and their houses and everything. You know, who are these characters that are making us slaves? So, you know, there should be. Huh?
I'll give you a quick stat that I know of, that they say that the Fed is printing $1 trillion every 100 days. So we were $34.5 trillion in debt, and every 100 days they print another $1 trillion. And before, when you were saying the money that our taxes pay, we're basically, our taxes are making the minimum payments. You know, if you have a credit card and it says minimum payment, you know, $51 on this $1,000 you owe us, the taxes we pay to the Fed are the minimum payments, as they keep spending the credit limit, which, you know, has no ceiling. Apparently, you know, they keep upping it. You know, they keep asking for a credit extension, and they get it, and then they print more money. So every 100 days, they'd another $1 trillion in debt, and so our taxes will never catch up.
No, it's not intended to happen that way. You know, it's intended to, you know, explode. The Ponzi scheme is intended to explode, but they're going to own everything they can in the meantime. I mean, do you like the dichotomy of the politics where they're pretending one country is worse than the other? It's, you know, isn't that funny? And they're like, U.S. is like, hey, China's, you know, the government's actually backing the companies over there and actually, you know, buying real estate and selling real estate and stuff, like, as if the U.S. isn't buying all the real estate, printing these trillions of dollars, and just owning it under LLCs of BlackRock and other subsidiaries of the income we trust. What's a hedge fund? Who's got trillions of dollars laying around? The U.S. In other words, the Fed does, and quantitative easing. It's like, we need a name for buying all the stocks of all the companies ourselves. Yeah. Let's call it quantitative easing. They'll never figure that out. They're buying all the assets with the money they're printing, and they're end up owning it because they're like, well, pay the police force so we, you know, they don't murder us, you know, and pay, you know, Madison Avenue to tell them we're great, USA, USA, like, keep that coming, you know. It's really amazing to see it continue. Reason I'm bringing this up is, hey, if you don't do these hacks, you know, and you don't get back 30% of your paycheck and all the free stuff, you're out on the street these days, you know? Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah. Well, they just keep devaluing the dollar. And so they'll give you more dollars, but it's going to be worth less. Yeah, we'll give you more. It's not going to go anywhere.
And we're bidding on real estate and other assets, stocks, everything. We're bidding against them, against our own government, who has unlimited wealth. That's why things cost, because of the government.
Yeah. Kimberly says, I really love and appreciate you guys for all you do. Thank you. This is proven that when you're living in your heart space and you have eyes to see the patience, only then you will be given the keys.
That's
very nice. I like that.
Yeah. In other words, when necessity is the mother of invention. Like, you know, when you're homeless and have nothing, you're like, well, I'm in this pickle and I'm turning it around and I'm going to come eat you. So, yeah, that's how it started.
Kimberly says, I've been on this journey since 2019. And as soon as I heard you'll speak, it touched my soul. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, it's great to have you along for this group. You know, we get some heavy hitters in here once in a while. It's like, you know, Babe Ruth shows up. You know, whoa, who's that? You know, another one out of the park. It's like, yeah, Kimberly Miller's here, apparently. She's great.
Scott's here. Hi, Jack and Tim. Kayla, I love that. Yes. This is awesome. Thank you. I saw a testimonial from a Canadian 5 years ago. Can it still work for us? And does the course guide through it for here? Go through it for here. Do you touch on Canadian stuff in the course guide? I think that's.
I don't in the course, but there has been another recent success. Someone who's here on Instagram, Jamie Bog. She's actually in Germany now. Yeah, her husband, or travels and so on. And she's a realtor in Canada and still is listing properties and selling
Wow.
properties there. It's great. She's very interesting, and she's super helpful. She's like, I told her, I was like, well, I don't have specific things in Canada. And she's like, you know, saw all my work, really studied it. Her father's a minister, and she just went for it. And then she worked hard on it. And she also got the concierge package, uh, which is my actual time on Zoom, you know?
Mhm.
And so when she would get into something and she'd have some question, I'd be like, okay, let's talk through them and so on. And we would do that periodically whenever she needed to. And we got it through. you know, uh, Maybe the Zoom and concierge thing isn't as necessary for you, but because Jamie's actually in the forum and stuff, and is if someone gets in who's Canadian is working on things, she's happy to lend a hand with some stuff. And as she went through it, right, a lot of that is in the classroom too, her experience and so on. Not all of it, but because we did some of Zoom, but she did put up a lot of her information as she went. Hey, I did this, I did
Mhm.
this, here's the form and stuff. So she was very helpful with that. And the person I helped 5 years ago, he didn't help. I'm like, well, I will help you if you make a testimony, you help other people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And Jamie's just that kind of individual who came along and she does help other people. So she cares about. It's like Jamie comes through as the only Canadian now who doing it. It's like she didn't say, "Hey, screw my entire population of my country." Screw you all. Because the first one he's all around the world. He got PPP and EIW money, and he posts on Facebook, Instagram. He's traveling the world, do whatever he wants. He just got me information and got it with some of his friends and piled up as much money as they could, and they travel the world and like screw Canada. He's probably never going back. Which whatever. But we have a different outcome from someone recently who's more helpful. Uh, so consider that. I'm just being real.
Mhm. Excellent. Maybe we should have a separate tab in the classroom for Canada or different countries that are requesting so
Actually,
that
what a great
people.
idea!
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's such a good idea, Tim.
Cool.
Love it. I love it. I love it. That's a really good idea. All right.
Cool. I'll text Tammy later.
What? What?
I'll put it in the.
Oh, great. I was like, you and Tammy are tight, man. That's so great. That would be
She's the best.
nice.
I'll do that. I'll take care of that. But yeah, I
Thank
mean that way,
you.
if anybody wants to make a request, what country you're trying to work from, but we get Canadian questions, almost every show, so we might as well have a
No,
tab for
that's
that
good. That's good.
and see
That's a good idea.
put
I'm
them
sorry I
together.
didn't think of that.
Yeah. No. Excellent.
But see,
Let's see.
that's a legend too. Hey,
Yeah.
Jamie, it's great.
Wonderful. Thank you. Missed the name. We're ready to sign up. Martin Gorman sang your praises.
Yeah, no, Martin, God, thank that guy. He does, and almost everyone who's in the financial industry comes across my work, and it's copyrighted. It actually can't work for anyone else. It can't. It can't because it's a loophole I open and close with copyright. And so a lot of other professionals come along and steal my work and don't actually know anything about it, but you see the outcome, and then begin at that point to destroy people's finances because they don't know anything about what they're doing and they don't know they can't actually do it. So they get people in trouble with the IRS. And so, but Martin come along really changed completely his life, like it does everyone. And that he's a, has always been a financial professional, but also cares about his clientele and people in general. And so he's like, he's still, he's a professional with a lot of information and helpfulness in other areas of finances. So it's not like he's in a pickle if he doesn't, make money on my work. He's like, no, as a foundation, get the trust. And then, he helps people after theirs, my understanding. So he has been really supportive at Martin Goman. Now he's a great, great guy, very supportive. And never a ripple over there from him. He's just so steady. He shows up sometimes in some live shows, and I thank him every time. On Instagram, never ever wrong. Jack, tell people to be aware of charlatans and what their power of attorney and social security number. That is right. I don't want any of that junk from anyone. I don't want to, if you go to a lawyer, oh my God, this is so scary. I hear this so often. That's never ever wrong. That's actually a good thing to bring up. Thanks for that comment. I appreciate that. Talk about the charlatan. I mean, that's why you will find at our school we're the only one with proof. It's crazy, when you go out there and start studying things, that we're the only one. It's like only one. You know what I mean? I'm sure Martin has some proof, but you start looking out there of everything that's out there, and lawyers. Lawyers are ubiquitous. They're everywhere. I've had so many people come to me and, a lawyer is going to help you with their trust. And they put themselves on it. I helped a family in Tucson. I was like, well, let me check into things for you. I was like, oh, a trust can get you out of taxes. Wonderful. Huge, extended, very interesting family with two tribes of, Native American, and they're like on the border of Arizona and Mexico. So it's really, it's a tribe, and they own restaurant, or so they thought, until I gave a hand and looked into their stuff, and turned out the lawyer owned their restaurant. They didn't own anything. I was like, hey, Ken, did you know your lawyer owns everything? And they're like, what? I was like, yeah, here's your paperwork. And so they got right on that. Let me tell you, the tribe, you know what I mean? Like, that got sorted out immediately. But no, it's ridiculous. Like, these tools can be used by evil people to wrought the most heinous of evil, like the Inga we trust, making the entire human population slaves of the owners of their business trust, the Inga we trust, and printing these dollars. Hey, every country use dollars, It's a slavery system. That's all it is. And it's a very clever one. Talk about paying heavily for marketing. You know what I mean? They got Madison Avenue, the whole avenue. We own the avenue, and we rent you the space. We'll tell you if we want, we need some work done. We got you all under contract, all under retainer, at every news station ever. We print all the money, you all work for us. And
well, that's the thing. Saudi Arabia used to do 100% of their oil sales in the American dollar, and that ended within the last 30 days. So no more exchanging in American dollars. They don't need it anymore. So all these printed dollars should come back home. And what's that going to do? That's going to make it worse for us. More dollars flying around here. That just makes it worth less.
Right. And I think the issue is with the owners of the Inga we trust and every other large business that exists, they own them all. Not like some are exempt from that process of these very few couple families that own everything and all the dirt everywhere in every single country. But I think they're concerned that, rightfully so, the Americans probably been talking too much on YouTube and probably been gathering a little too much. And they're probably getting a little bit worried of not the population, but a few of us, know what's up and so on. And so they were going to bring this country, basically down to nothing and switch over through Bitcoin to yuan or, they own the dollar is kind of every currency. They own every currency. Every system's the same. Everyone's enslaved in every country. So it's not, countries are fake. They all work for the owners of the Inga we trust, or the owner.
Right.
The
International Monetary Fund.
Yeah.
We don't want to say keywords like that.
Not with the horns that you see a bunch of pictures of. That's the owner. It's like, no, the devil doesn't exist. Just keep marketing that. That's the one. Do it. I am not the owner of anything. Not all the humans, for sure. No, that can't happen. No, that's a made up story. That's conspiracy theory. Don't bring up that link about the Inga trust. No, don't do that. Hide it.
Kimberly's saying, I have a friend that I was explaining this to, and lo and behold, she has the same trust as me, and she doesn't have a clue what she had. And then she says, I convinced her not to use it and that it's stealing. Now she's buying it from you guys. People just want the end game without putting in the work, like studying. Yeah.
Yeah, it is that, but it's also that it actually, if they get the pieces of paper and even use the methods that I have copyrighted, it actually will work for them. The IRS could come after them. I've explained this before. This is a Christian loophole. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is. So you could sign up with the devil. Everyone knows that. And I made a contract where you could sign up with God, and then I copyrighted it right after. Right after I copyrighted, right after. So no one else can use this loophole because it comes from a spiritual hierarchy. This methodology comes that way. If you're a thief of a spiritual method, that makes you anti-spiritual. You know what I'm saying? You're anti-God, and you're not the one who did it. And so you're not in the spiritual hierarchy, and so you can't give it away. Even if you give it for free, it doesn't matter. It won't work for anyone because you can't help them through the process. I'm the one with the MBA, the master's accounting, 30 years plus of experience. I'm the one who figured this out and did it. I'm the auditor who figured out, watched them what they're doing and did it myself first. And then, hey, let me help each individual soul, right? Each individual soul. I will get you to the truth, to open your bank account, all the financial things. Yeah, there's a spiritual side. If you want to know that, yeah, I got that too, because obviously, like I said, it's a Christian loophole. It's a Christian country. And the loophole exists in the law. It exists in the IRS code. The government recognizes it. Why? They use the same loophole. They needed the loophole to get themselves, for the In God We Trust to happen and the entire system to happen. They're like, we use this loophole we created in the back and we're hiding it. But that's the entire system. The In God We Trust system is the system. So you could do the same exact thing they did. It's in the code.
Right.
And so it's like, and they respect that. How can they not respect that? They run the whole world under that system. Of course they respect that you figured it out, first one ever, and now you can help people. But everyone else, they understand completely that it doesn't work for them legally. And they can go after them, put them in jail. All the other things that work under this is because it comes through a spiritual hierarchy. You sign up your children and nobody sticks a needle in their arm when you're not even in the room with them. All these other things that are hyper important to family and stuff, because these creatures that are running the slavery system cannot be trusted, period. You know what I mean? Government workers and doctors and all the people that are like, hey, you need us, there's a plague, close the doors. We know it's a fake plague, but we got to learn about you all through the fake plague. They can't trust doctors, can't trust none of y'all in the system. So we all learn that as an entire population. So we're like, okay, we don't believe anything you say. So I'm the one with proof, right? Like now you're like, okay, I don't believe you. So you look for proof. And we're a school with proof after proof after proof after proof, testimonial after testimony, people that come on live all the time, like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? That's all we have here. We don't have it the other way. We don't have problem. We don't have this doesn't work. Why? Because they created a system out of this. You see, they did this. I'm copying them. I'm a plagiarist that used their loophole, but it's available to everyone at a reasonable fee. And I think, I spend all of my time on this. I don't let anyone fall by the wayside. I take this copyright and that you have to need my help very seriously. I don't let anyone knock it out. I created a loophole and I closed the loophole, but I am here at a reasonable rate. When you go to checkout, you can do it in payments. I mean, this stuff is extremely affordable. The only difficulty is getting over that mental programmed hurdle that they put in there with Madison Ave since the day you've been born through school and all that stuff. If you can get rid of that, you can, save all this money, get all this money, and so on and so on. Live a much happier life. And then take a breather and be like, okay, this is what the wealthy have been up to. And this is why they're out there on their jet skis and yachts and 10 houses. And, man, And so you start to reevaluate what you do in your life, and it extends out to your family, your loved ones. And, all of a sudden, you're not quite in such a pickle anymore financially. And you actually know what's going on. You discuss this amongst your loved ones, and your life changes. You're not as stressed, you're not as anxious. You actually, because when you don't know what's going on, it's a lot more stressful. When you do know what's going on, it sucks to find out they treated you as a slave. But to get the loophole and, to get the hacks and have all the knowledge that, okay, now I have it, that's a lot better than not having it. I didn't make the system. You didn't make the system. An accountant, i.e. me, right? Accountant's job, hey, how do I give the government as little as possible? I'm down to zero. Okay. And then, wait, that's all anyone expects from an accountant. Me, I'm like, no, this is how you get all the money from the government too. Not just get down to zero. Let's go to the plus side. You owe me. Give me everything you got. That's what this, school is about. Because I don't believe them. I don't believe anything the country says. I just don't. They're liars. Free country? What's free? Where's the free stuff? Where are any free country? This is how you get your stuff for free.
Jamie says she'll help anyone from Canada inside the classroom, which was great. And then she said this is important work of great spiritual significance also.
Thank you, Jamie. I mean, isn't it wonderful if someone like this comes along who not only cares about her family and is just a wonderful person, a realtor, so we could trust as a professional, but also, actually super cares about her whole country and is like, I'll help you. Come on. Isn't that great? She's great.
And Kayla says, hi, Jamie. I'd love to connect once we're signed up. We have a call with Tammy tomorrow. Excellent.
Fantastic. That's great.
And Dee Dee's here. The chances your friend has the same trust she will now have a large unraveling. She should consider the trust here now.
I mean, the voice of truth, Dee Dee, is always like, she's actually trying to help. You know what I mean? Like having, seen difficulties happen to other people. I try to say it nicely too. I try not to sound like egotistical, pompous. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to actually help people. Like, you don't want to go the back doorway because then all this stuff, like God is real. So, But thanks for saying that, Dee Dee. I can only try and help people. You are too, and thank you. You're muted, Tim. You must hit the button.
There we go. Kimberly says this is awesome because if it works in Canada and North America, it'll work in Jamaica. Which is part of North America, and Jamie, she'll be contacting Jamie. Excellent. I did see a question inside the trust, which I just pulled inside the classroom, which I pulled out here
Nice.
For us. Does the trust protect my son from having to participate in the draft if that ever happened? And thank you for your help.
I love this one, right? I just answered yes. Yeah. It's like, I'm so glad you brought up on the show, and now I can put this link there too as a fuller answer.
Yes, please.
Sorry,
because I still have some children in that age bracket, so I wanted to hear a little bit. I'm happy it is, but I wanted to hear a little bit more about that.
Great. Yeah, I mean, no problem. It's really an amazing process, and this trust is such a simple mechanism. Because all it is like I talk about this I've been talking about this trust for year after year after year after year. But the process of doing it is just signing a piece of paper, public notary, right? Get your EIN, go to the bank, you open it up, and then you're on your way. And it performs many actions at once, right? It makes it so you could operate financially in every single respect, buy, sell property, title things, deeded things, have bank accounts, and anything you can do in the financial system, you can do with a trust. And then also it's like, has this whole other component to it. Well, you could say spiritual, but it is also very much a physical reality. If I say spiritual, it makes it sound nebulous, so you can't get a hold of it. That's not it at all. And I'm going to get to it with this. I mean, first, let me go through an example. It's been many years, but I started this work many years ago from the crash. lost everything, my home, lost my family, lost all my money, reputation, everything. I ended up homeless. And then I was like, I got bad credit report and nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Except, oh, the seat next to me. Oh, wait. So God is real. Oh, hey, yeah, okay, you're the last one. Okay. Uh, Hi. So off we go. And so then I realized, oh, the bank never signs the document. Wait a second. They have to sign something. And they never do. So, oh, what, this is a Ponzi scheme? This is a slavery scheme? Let me use the laws to fix my credit, which I did. And then I was like, oh, man, let me help everyone else, which I did. I still do. That's still one of our courses. I still help people with that. That still works. Yay. Then I was like, oh, man, I cleared my credit. And I was like, well, now I'm, past that massive hurdle. And I'm like, well, how do I protect myself and my loved ones and, what we have so you don't come and steal it or us, now that I'm not on, like, how do I get you away from me now that I've learned all about you through foreclosure and every other evil act that you do to everyone that doesn't, pay up in a free country? Like, my God, you're evil to the core. So then it was like, I did the financial thing, solved that, and I get to this stage, and it was just, I could really talk about this at length. But what I did to prove to people that what I say is real is I did 15 court cases I initiated. In other words, a little backstory. I did like 20 credit cards, turned them all into gold coins, took their money. I'm like, screw you. And, the person's credit report was bad. So what? Thanks for the money. That's legal. And one of the credit cards had the audacity to sue me. I'm like, oh my God, you don't know who I am. That's so funny. Barclays. And so, there are like 15 or 20 of them. And so in response, I initiated, and I told everyone on Facebook about it, and everyone was following me like crazy. Before I was banned, but after I was reborn on Facebook, I did 15, 20 court cases, something like that. Maybe it was 16 or 18. When I look at the piece of paper, it has so many numbers, just ridiculous court case numbers. But I initiated a battle to the death cage match. Come to Sarasota County, right? Here's the courtroom. Here's the paperwork. We're going to see who's more powerful, the devil, or, who I signed up with, Jesus Christ. So let's just find out. So we see if this trust is, accurate, because this place sucks. And hopefully I can get killed or I beat God. One or the other. You know what I mean? And so, I didn't die, sadly, really, on my end. But, God showed up and I'm alive. And, I started that. And let me tell you what, when I walked in the first day of court, the judge was there, and I was like, and I'm of course, in a closed courtroom, you know what I mean, with no one else in there. And the judge was like, I finally walk in and everyone's already sitting, there's like 20 of them. And, like 10 court reporters today or something. It was just like off the hook. And 4 lawyers, four law teams, 4 separate, credit cards and so on. So they didn't do 15 or 20 once, but they added 4 together for one day. I was like, oh, okay, here we go. And so the judge goes, Mr. McCaig, yes, hi. I just want to let you know before we get started. It was I got a little preamble. I loved it. All the judges of Sarasota County gathered to discuss you. Oh, that's good. Good to hear that. And then said, and we just want to let you know that we're prepared. This is when they started. We prepared to discuss a new rule in case you would continue maybe to do this many court cases. We're considering making a new law if we need to make one. So you quit doing so many free court cases against us, which I teach how to do. And the courses. And so I did it. And, you don't mind me using me. Yeah, I'm just down here using you as my comedy act. What's the problem? Your Honor. Anyway, so we go through the whole court case, the next thing that the judge said, is there anything we could do to resolve this, Mr. McCaig? I was like, this Barclays, this right here, this guy with Barclays, they actually sued me. And so in response, I did these court cases to, upend them. And they're like, who? The judge's like, who did that? It was like, that one right there, Barclays. And he's like, and the judge, you did what? You sued him.
Right.
Hold on. Don't say anything to the lawyer. Mr. McCaig, if they were to end their court case, would you stop these court cases? I was like, yeah, I wouldn't do it unless this idiot over here started this thing. The judge is like, fine. Thank you, Mr. McCaig. Okay, lawyer from Barclays, this is what you're going to do. and all the clerk courts, like 10 of them, he's like, okay, do all the paperwork. And so really it only took a few minutes, but like a half-hour paperwork when the lawyers were over there just like, got so pissed. They even, each one in turn, raised their hand and said the same exact thing. It was unbelievable to watch each 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
Your Honor, he charged up his credit card and he's suing us.
Right.
They said the same thing word for word. And the judge has to say 4 times in a row. I don't care. What are you talking about? I don't care. You're signing this paperwork right now. That's what the judge said to all of them. You're signing this today, right now. And so they did. It was funny. And so we get to the end of it, right? And everything went smoothly. Not to the lawyers, right? But everything went smoothly for the judge. It's like, I'm getting this guy out of here. There we go, because there are 4 armed bailiffs in the room, all with, full body chains prepared in their hands. They have like the ankle chain, waist chains, all of it. They got all of it. They're standing in the courtroom holding these things next to the judge.
Right.
4. They all have chains, all of them. I'm the only one that, and I guess for 3, if anybody goes to help we're getting them too, and so all the paperwork's done, everything's done, and judges makes the mistake of saying, Mr. McCaig, is there anything else that we can help you with? And I was like, yes, actually, just one thing. I have one question. That seal above your head that says in God we trust. Who are the trustees? I was just curious. Who are the trustees? Right. And the judge turns to the bailiffs and says, get him. That's all. That was the response to my question. Get him and throw him in the cage. Throw him away forever. Only thing is, on the way across the courtroom, they were frozen solid and couldn't move a muscle. Mm. I'm like, man, this Facebook thing is battles to the death cage match. I was like, okay, God is real. Hey, and I say, hey, I go to the judge. I was like, am I free to go? And the judge is like, yes. Yeah. And out I walk out of there like, am I walking on the earth? Like I felt like I was flying out of there. It was unbelievable to do that. And this is a long journey for me. They stole my home and messed up my family, ruined my all of my family relationships with my children, my family, everything. Put me out on the street, everything, I've been hunting them every single day. I take a breath of air 7 days a week ever since, and turning an army against them by starting this school and teaching everyone how to get over on the government and these evil creatures that are out there, and beating them all day, every single day. I beat them every time. You see what I'm saying? And I was like, oh man, God's real is back at me. Let's go, baby. I'm going to really push the pedal to the metal now. You see what I'm saying? So you sign up with this trust in any circumstance. You see, Jesus wasn't tempted. Not in that story. He set the whole thing up. And so did I with Facebook Battle to the Death cage match. Is God real? Oh, hey, cool. You're real. I needed to know that, actually. And so do all my clients and everyone. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I tell everybody, you ever going to pull any of this stuff, like, I have so many times, pull up the video camera and get some video, man, because you're going to be so blown away by what's occurring. You're going to totally forget, like I did. Like you want to do it in a room with a camera, so like you want to set it up with a camera, like already there, because it's just going to blow your mind. So no, they can't come and take them. I could go through story after story. That's just mine. The first time it happened to me, but that's happened to me many times since. The police have come to murder me in a group, and can't pull up their gun, and me just laughing at them and be like, "You're annoying," and just walking away. Just literally, that's what I said to you. You're annoying. I'm leaving. Okay, bye. After they try and murder me, it's like they have zero power. Literally. So it's a good question. The only way to undo yourself is by your internal fear mechanism overriding, yourself as going with them. Don't do it. Just, if you can't think of anything else in this situation, there's only one word. And this is anyone young saying, just turned 18, 19, we want your body. Come with us in the military. The only word they have to know at HE, they only have to come up with one word, and that is no. That's the only word they have to come up with. No. No. That's it. Because God's already watching it. And your job is to not undo the contract you signed with God. Like, just don't go along with anything the henchmen say. Just say no, and they can't touch you. I've already figured that out. You see, so the only thing to do is just say no to them. No, you can't come in the house. No, you can't go in the car. No, you can't get in here. No, you can't have a look. No, you can't touch me. No, 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 no. Whatever your question was, the answer is no. Okay, bye. See you later. Go seriously. If you really want to know about this stuff, there's a posting in the school right now that is super recent by Michael. What's his last name? Farquhar. Whatever. Anyway, you should go look at that. He's driving around with no tags in Florida because it doesn't have enough money to have tags and stuff. And he has a trust, but so he's like, well, let me just try this out, because he actually takes the signing up with God seriously. Love God, love your brothers and sisters. So he's doing this and making videos as he does it and putting it into the classroom. Why? To help you all, you see, to prove what's real. I'm like, because he's like, what can I help you with? I'm like, well, I don't have any video of the miracles, man. Like, you could set one up if you want. And he's very interested in my stuff. He's like, well, I have no money. What if I drive around with no tag? And I'm like, film it, man, film it. So there are people that God puts in these situations and you gather the information, but it's really about gathering the video, because the second somebody gets a video of this, and not just me talking. And by the way, it's me talking. The guy with Liberty Aid Academy who's done all he's said with proof over 12 years, every single day for 7 years. It's me saying this, you see? But when the video comes out, game over, right? Right. They don't own the real estate anymore. They don't own me. You see what I'm saying? Once they realize, they can't touch you, and so it's like, how do I bring this shield and get you to pay, so I don't have to pay for your real estate? How do I really make it a free country? And that's what we're working on, is extending that shield onto real estate and so on. So we don't have to listen to a word they say for the rest of our lives. You say, like, get out of my business. Why do I need to hear from a pack of liars trying to make me your slave? Like, just the only thing I want is you out of my life. That's it, Mm-hmm. That's all anyone wants. Just get out of here, okay? Just don't cross the line. Stay over there. I want to go to sleep at night and not wake up and find you creatures banging on my door. Just don't come here. That's all. That's the only thing. Unsubscribe from all. Click, 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 click. Don't come by here. Thank you. Pay for you to pick up the trash. The trash will be over there. Okay, very, very good. Okay.
New name here in the show, Gun Totin' Texan. Wants to know, does this work in Texas?
It worked the first time in Arizona, baby. Oh, yeah. If it works in Arizona, it works in Texas. Yeah, no, of course it works in Texas. Dee Dee in the house. Dee Dee, you should be answered. No, I actually, you know, I'm doing my best here in Florida, but Dee Dee's probably doing better than I am in Texas. Talk about the lighthouse of doing this is in Texas. There she is, Dee Dee.
There, she says they all signed one document, all 16 signatures to drop their cases.
Yes, that's right, Dee Dee. That's right, 16.
And Jamie says, so cool.
I mean, that's just one story. It does so much stuff over the years. It's ridiculous. All the stuff I've done with this trust. I got bored with it, honestly.
And Jay is saying the first question he asked was, what happened with the frozen bailiffs? Did they ever unfreeze? Did they get home all right?
You know, I have another story about that. Okay. Since we're asking about, because this is technology related to this trust. You see what I'm saying? This is like, gun-toed Texas. No, what? I'd love to get some more Texas up here. If Dee Dee's in Texas, I mean, I'm going to say, if we get anyone else in Texas, come on in. If Dee Dee's any representative of Texas, which I take her as, man, come on, Texas. Anyone from Texas, yes.
Dan saying, holy cow, I'm looking at the court case against Barclays. It's unbelievable.
You looked it up.
And our friend in Texas, these so-called authority figures think they own you here.
Exactly. No, dude, you. Oh, I love it when some heavy hitters in the room is like, "Oh, you're turning the team, are you? Oh, baby, you're gonna like it over here." No, we never give it over here. We only take. We don't give anything. We only take over here.
Nice. He says, Jack told me they unfroze when he walked out the door and looked back.
No, that's true. But actually, after this happened to me, I had, this was years ago. Okay. I'll tell another. I'll do a short story on this other thing. We got. Oh man, we're almost out of time. Okay, I'll really try and break this down. I had, I had this guy come to me. He was homeless and had nothing. You know what I mean? And I put out a course that's like how to get up from the bottom of having nothing. You see? And this guy come to me and watched all my YouTube channel, all my stuff. And he's like, oh my God, and, he got into the trust. I was like, all I want you to do, right? If I help you, I want the testimonials. I didn't get it from him. But this is what happened to him. I was like, here's how you fix your credit. So he did that stuff. Then he got a credit card. Then he's like, he got a friend that said, he asked him, hey, if I get a shed, can I put it on your land and live in it? And his friend's like, yes. So he goes up to the shed store. Now his credit's fixed. He asks the shed company, hey, can I get a shed? He gets the biggest shed they have, puts it in his friend's yard, and doesn't pay a nickel, and puts up the notice that, so they can't steal your house in foreclosure. That all works. And so he puts that up, and the shed guy comes by and is like, hey, man, you going to make a payment? And what's the deal? He's like, man, this ain't mine anymore. This, he does a whole process. Jesus Christ, now it's not mine. It's in the trust. Sorry. Can't have it. I'm not authorized to give it back. Sorry. And then he does all the debt stuff, and the cops eventually show up. And he's like, nah, it's Jesus' house. Sorry, can't get away. And then eventually, long story short, the SWAT shows up with the state police and the sheriff. SWAT, state police, the sheriff, tested on SWAT, state police. Make sure you heard the list.
Yeah.
Okay. Seriously. Show up. All the, the fear squadron, all of them, we need another street to bark on us the other street too, all of them. And so the Loudmouth sheriff, he shows up, we're taking you out of here. Eventually back and forth, this is Jesus Christ. Oh no. Eventually sheriff just gets had it, takes out the handcuffs, goes to the guy's arm, frozen solid. And he has to back up, and then he can move. He can't go forward. And so if he goes backwards away from the guy, no problem.
Right.
And they got in their cars and left. That's why I tell people that doing any of this stuff, put up a rig video, put up a game tracking cameras and stuff. This
Right.
technology, I have this. I actually put up a free home course if you want this information in the last few days on Jesus Christ Trust on that. Actually, if you want this real stuff out there and eternal life too. But if you want, I put up 2 new courses. That's like the Skunk Works over there for courses over here at Liberty Academy. The serious heavy hitting stuff is over there if you're into that kind of stuff. So, but I can't help you unless you get the trust. Unless you get the trust, and if you get the McCaig Mastery Trust, it's like 75, 80% off because you get all the courses together, and that's why I like it best. That's why the super discount. I want you to have all the technology, all the information, each one that comes here. And I'm here to help you. You have a mentor, a live mentor. None of that AI, you could call me Al stuff. I'm here to help you for real. I've done it. I'm here to help you. You're not going to get that anywhere else. This stuff works. Let's get over on the government and, take back our freedom. And I mean all of it. Don't touch me. Don't touch my children. Don't touch my money. Don't touch my home. All of it in one go. I give you all that here.
Good stuff. Let's see if there's just a couple questions left. Comments. Didi says rowdy, getting rowdy. And Mike says, well worth it.
New student, Mike. Happy to have you here, man. Happy you joined up, Mike. Looking forward to working with you.
And Texas says he'd like to join.
Dude, you're gonna you're gonna have a great time, like us.
Oh, Didi says his name is Rowdy.
Same as right. Oh, I had a good friend named Rowdy. When I lived in Asheville, he was one of the nicest guys I have ever met in my life. Actually, he was a musician. So he was really super nice guy. Love to have you, Rowdy. I left the name. Plus, you like that guy from the movie that's like with the glasses, right? Rowdy, the Piper guy. It's like, I saw through everything. We'd love to have you.
Rowdy Piper. Thursday night at 7 p.m. is our next show. Do you have any specific topics you want to discuss then? Are we going to invite people on to come and ask their questions live? Maybe a couple testimonials, something like that. It'd be good. Fun. Anything
my stories are good, but let's hear from you. Come on, Didi. Come on, some of you heavy hitters, jump on here. Even if you're new, what? People love to hear from you next time. Rowdy Piper. Yes, Jay.
I think the Texas name is Frank.
Frank. I like someone who's very frank. Even so, that's your name. What? Come on. Straight shooter, right? Straight shooter, Frank. Ha! Love it. So yeah, this only takes a day or two to do. Okay, so it's like you don't need to hear talking to death forever. You could go start now. By the next show, you could be like, I got my trust account up. But seriously, it doesn't take long. So hopefully Thursday we're like, Frank is on the team. He got the new. What number are you, man? He's on the team. Hopefully we get you. Thanks for staying, Tim. Oh.
Better Health Today says, how can I see the Barclays court case?
I honestly, right, Tammy, we used to have a list of all what court cases and stuff. Maybe she has that contact at liberty8academy.org. We used to have that actually. It was like, because I tell the story like, hey, where do you, so maybe she still has that. She could shoot it to you.
I'll push that into the email I'm sending Tammy right as we jump off here. So we'll figure that one out.
Thank you.
All right. Excellent.
A little late, Jim. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Well, we started a little late as well. But we'll be back 7 p.m. on Thursday. Thank you very much, Jack. Have a great week.
Yeah, man. You too.